I treat a lot of cervical spinal cord compression in my practice. And what that is where something in the neck, in the cervical spine, like a disc or an osteophyte, which is a bone spur, is compressing the spinal cord. And when that happens, the whole body essentially doesn't work properly. You get muscle spasms, you get weakness, you get pain. It's a very debilitating condition. And one of the tools I use to diagnose it in my clinic, or at least evaluate it, is something called the Hoffman's Reflex. So I take the patient's hand like this, and then I flick the bottom of one of their fingers. And when I do that, if their hand goes like this, thumb and index finger kind of squeeze together really quickly, that's a positive Hoffman sign. And that's a sign that the cervical spinal cord is compressed. And the reason this happens is very interesting. You see, when we're babies, we have these primitive reflexes where, the hand stretched a little bit, it wants to grasp. And that's so the baby can grab onto its mother and not fall. Well, as you get older, the nerve tracts that control the muscles in your hand, they essentially override that reflex through a process called myelination. The brain basically controls that you lose these primitive reflexes. Well, when you get older and you pinch your cervical spinal cord, or even if you're young and you pinch your cervical spinal cord, well, that override of these primitive reflexes gets blocked, and all of a sudden, the primitive reflexes come back. So when you flick the finger, the hand goes like this. So it's just one of the clinical tools I can use in my practice to look for patients who might have compression of their cervical spinal cord. So that's what I do in my day job as a neurosurgeon. I also have a podcast. It's called the Dr. Kumar Discovery, and I tell lots of stories, but I also teach about health and wellness topics. Sometimes I get pretty technical, but a lot of the times I'm keeping it very clear and understandable so you can have knowledge to make better decisions in life. You should check me out. It's called the Dr. Kumar Discovery, and it's on any major podcast platform. I hope I see you there. Cheers.